You were successful against the NATO SAG. Our fleet will have an easier time against the enemy in the coming battle. Brave units from the Baltic Fleet are on their way to join in the fleet mustering at Severomorsk to defend our homeland. These reinforcements are very important to the success of Severnogo Flota's battle plan. Reports available to Federalnia Служба Безопасности indicate that NATO nuclear and diesel submarines are moving into position to attack these ships as they exit the Baltic. Take position at the entrance to the Baltic and sink any NATO ships or submarines that attempt to interfere with this force.
Hey everyone, FPS Chazzle here. Welcome back to Let's Play Subcommand as the Akula. We had a successful mission in NATO SAG. We sunk all we needed to sink, and now we are doing Baltic Breakout. So these ships are from the Baltic Fleet moving out to the ocean to head up to Severomorsk to support Severnogo Flota Служба, whatever, Northern Fleet. I think I got like half of that right. I threw in something from the FSB in there. Begin your search for enemy submarines in the area. You must eliminate any threat to our fleet before we exit the Baltic Sea into less protected waters. Very well. Okay. So I don't think I'll be able to hang around at 3 knots forever. These guys are coming up not terribly quick, but they are coming up. Let's bring this in a little bit. Water is not deep at all here. I think I remember doing this as the Sea Wolf. Do I remember doing this? Yeah, I think I remember doing this as the Sea Wolf and thinking they had already passed by me because it was so freaking huge space. I don't know what their path is. This is going to be interesting. Alright, don't bring in too much now. Okay. Well, we might need to be going a little quick. Try and stay ahead of these guys. I want to make a break for deep water as soon as possible. Not sure about people are going to be waiting. There's probably somebody over here in this very littoral stuff. They can't be too far from the fleet, though, to get any hits. Unless they are planning on doing like a missile launch. What do we got here? Oiler. Very well. I think that's the only thing we're holding on the sonar right now is this oiler. Well, might as well see what he's doing, I suppose. Mark that. Mark that.
Control acoustics. New contact. Bearing 204. Designated Sierra 1. Control acoustics. New contact.
Not sure which one is which.
3-1. Designated Sierra 2.
Let's go ahead and check it out on a different array. See if we have them on another array. Nope. Only longitude. Very well. This is going to be a big fun mission for everyone. Hehe. This mission kind of scares me, actually. I have no idea where enemy subs are. It's one thing to run these kinds of escort missions in a Sea Wolf, but in an Akula, with a distinct sonar disadvantage, this is going to be interesting. Okay, so this water is decently deep. We do have a good chunk beneath the keel. Let's get a little deeper and try and get away from potential surface clutter.
Depth 0.57 meters. Depth control I.
I mean, what do we got? It's yeah, it's like 400 feet here almost. Almost. It's definitely like 400 feet here. It's not terrible. We can get pretty close to the bottom there. Get some more acuity on our sensors. I'm not sure if that's something they model in Subcommand or not, but better safe than sorry. We can go ahead and check it out. So is this guy really an oiler? Oh, what's that 4th frequency telling me? Oh, that's a 3rd frequency, excuse me. Beg your pardon. Okay, well that's not going to be enough to get any kind of positive ID one way or another on this guy. All we're seeing is 4, so it's definitely a civilian of some type. It's either a cruise ship, oiler, cargo ship, or freighter. And none of their TPKs are the same. So it's anyone's guess as to what that thing actually is. So I may not even bother trying to, you know, keep tabs on that guy. Oh boy, what to do in this mission? I don't know. This is going to be interesting for sure. Okay, we're getting our pings from our Tavarishi to the south. That's comrades. I have a distinct advantage in distance ahead of them right now. I'm thinking I might want to run it standard to get in front of these, to stay in front of these guys for a little bit. So I'm not seeing. Let me just turn right to clear the baffles here real quick.
Steering guy.
Clear these towed baffles. See if there's anyone to the north, and I'm gonna run this way like 15 knots. Because I mean, if I was a nuclear sub, I'd probably want to. If I was a sub at all, I'd want to be in these deeper waters. But I think I remember the Seawolf was starting out somewhere this way, so I might just head. I think I'm just gonna head due west actually, because if I was these guys, I wouldn't want to lollygag all the way up that way and then go. I would just like, as soon as I could round this corner, I would just do it, because they don't really care how deep the water is. So we're gonna clear these baffles to the north, or this direction, make sure no one's off that way. And then I'm gonna turn west. I'm gonna turn west, and then we're gonna. Yeah. It looks pretty clear. Yep, not seeing much of anything. Get up to my mouth again because I'm sitting up straight. Okay. Let us turn west.
Steer course 0.
All ahead standard.
Engines ahead standard. Steering guy.
And let's
Control acoustics. We are
okay, that's too fast. Too
Steer
fast.
course 2. Control
Too fast.
Engines ahead 2/3.
We can maybe go down a little bit.
Go to depth 0, 6, 7 meters.
I'm not sure how deep we need to go to not cavitate at 15 knots. Oh, we can go deeper further, but I have to keep tabs on it.
0, 7, 9 meters. Depth control.
And I'm currently blind right now, except on the cylindrical. So I guess if someone was fire a torp, I could still hear them right now. I think 12 knots is right around where my cylindrical starts to wash out.
Set revolutions for 12 knots. Propulsion I.
We'll see here shortly. I think that's about right. Yep, it's starting to wash out just a little bit. It just, if I go to 13, it's going to shoot up. I can tell.
Set revolutions for 13 knots. Propulsion I.
Yeah, okay. 12 knots is like almost going too fast for it.
For 12 knots.
So these guys are just... Okay, so Sierra 2 turns, so Sierra 1 is the real one for what that's worth. So we just leave that there. I want to run off this way. I'm going standard.
Steering guy.
Just going full bore standard. We're going to run this for, I don't know, call it 5 or 10 minutes. See what we got going down this bearing. I might alternate back and forth between 2/3 and standard to make sure some torp isn't sneaking up on me or something like that. But I made a mistake in previous missions of like lollygagging too much before getting a move on. So make sure I do a better job of that this time.
Engines ahead standard. Steering guy.
Let's just run for 4 more minutes till we get to about 10-20 here. Let's go a little more like this.
Right, steer course 2, 9, 6.
Not sure how far they're going to kick it off past this cape here, but we can go a little more like this here.
2, 9,
Let's do this.
2, 7,
I want to run for like 5 more minutes here. They're getting up on me. I really want to make sure I stay in front of these guys so I can see what's going on here. What's the depth? Depth is coming up, I think. I think it's getting shallow. No, we still got a lot beneath the keel. We got a lot beneath the keel here, so we're good. And let us stop time accelerating.
Engines ahead 1/3. Steering guy.
1/3. Very well, we'll just stay to 5 knots. That's good for now. I think 3 is too slow to do anything effectively in this environment. We're kind of trying to push ourselves. We're trying to stay a little nimble on our feet here. I know patience is a virtue, but these guys are going 14 knots. They don't give us much leeway. I think this is our oiler, just a lot closer. I guess coming our way, heading out to sea or something. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 frequencies. What do we got around this area here? About 902, 920, 910. Okay, so that narrows it down to oiler, cargo ship, or freighter. On TBK of 7, 10, or 20, so doesn't really do too much for me, but I can still see which one kind of makes more sense. 7, was that what it was? Yeah, 7, 10, or 20. 7's 21 knots, 10's 15 knots, 27 knots. I think the 15 knots sounds probably the most reasonable, so that would make this a cargo ship. But that's just a guess. That's just my humble opinion. Let us... Okay, we're here. We're going slow. What do we got? Nothing. It looks pretty clear. Let's head due north.
Rudder right, steer course 0, 0, 0. Steering eye.
See what we got going on to the west of us here. Probably not going to make first contact for a while. Probably going to employ some form of sprinting and drifting to try and get in position here. Scope to 6 knots just to accelerate it as much as possible.
For 6 knots. Propulsion eye.
Yeah. Accelerate that there time. See what we got. There's me coming around town. Looking for any sign of life whatsoever. And I'm seeing nothing. Yeah. Oh, wait. Well, what is that?
Control acoustics. New contact.
Oh, hello.
0, 6, 2. Designated Sierra. 3. Control acoustics.
Okay.
New contact.
Tally ho.
Bearing,
First
2,
contact,
9,
first catch
5.
of the day.
Designated
Alright, that
Sierra,
warrants a
4.
slowdown.
Set revolutions for 3 knots. Propulsion eye.
Let us turn
Steer course
this way.
0, 0, 0. Rudder right, steer course.
See
0,
what this
2,
reciprocal is
4.
going to do here, because we
Steering
got ourselves a ship already. I have no... Okay, I didn't show you my loadout. I got 2 65 centimeters in case we need some long-range engagement. Some Stallions, which I guess I could have just used SSN. I have SSN 27 ASWs up as well. Once again, I like the Stallions. You can launch them deep. 53 centimeters for closer in stuff if we need it. Squalls. Got 6 squalls loaded up. Let's get these 2 here just primed. Meant to prime them at the beginning of the mission so they're ready to be snapped at any second. Okay, so we got ourselves a potential contact here. What is it telling us? So our potential LA is going 11 knots, or if his TBK is 7, he's going 15 knots. So that's fast if this is an LA. But 60 could be a lot of different things. It could be another merchantman coming in from somewhere. Not sure. But whatever it is, it's like, it's either civilian, it's either like a merchantman, or it's like a freaking LA. Like, that's what it's going to be. Just based on how many countries don't use, like, 60 as a first frequency, 60 hertz. So that is yet to be seen as to what this is. First, I want to figure out which one is real so I know which way to go in pursuing this target here. Toad has not started turning yet. It's being a little lackadaisical. Man, I really don't... I want to...
Set revolutions for
really
5
don't like
knots.
sitting on my
Propulsion eye.
butt here about it. Okay, Sierra 3 is the false, so drop that. And now we can
Steer
head back
course
this way,
0, 2
but
engines
it
ahead,
chooses up to 2/3.
Steering eye.
And we can see what... We can get a little closer to Sierra 4 and see what that's all about. That very well could be a sub. If it is, he's going... Have I really had that for 32 minutes? No. The age is messed up. That's tied. That's the same as this. It's... The mission probably started at 10 o'clock, so the age is just messed up for whatever reason. It's like the age of the object being created in the map and not the age of it on my sonar. Age on my sonar is much more useful. Okay, this is going to be getting shallower that way. Let's actually go north. Let's actually go north here.
3, 5, 1. Steering eye.
What's the bearing to the target? I kind of want to move so he stays just outside my baffles. 292, so that would take us to 322, so let's do like 332 as a course right now.
Rudder left,
Yeah,
steer
to make it
course
come back a little bit, we're
3,
going to do
2,
this
Steering eye.
and move towards him closer. I might cut back and forth between that there. But yeah, we're going to do this and try and get in a little bit closer here to this guy. Yeah, good. Lost him on the Toad in the washout. I'm glad it's not glitching out with that regard then, at least. Hoping... Not sure what to expect here. So what was it? 292. Let's
Steer
go back.
course 3, 3, 2. Steering
Yeah,
eye.
like this way.
Rudder left, steer course 2,
And
6, 1.
try and
Steering
work
eye.
our way up close to this guy a little bit in a weird snaky kind of fashion, kind of unpredictable fashion here to some certain degree. My buddies are getting close here. Probably should burst it up and get a little, try and get a little more headway. Let's slow down and reestablish contact with this guy and see what we got going on here. Okay, still 15 knots. Okay, that second frequency is 125. Oh, and there's another one here. Holy shit.
Control acoustics.
Good lord.
No contact.
Okay.
Bearing 3, 2, 6.
That means there's a reciprocal down here too.
5.
Which I need to mark.
Control acoustics. New contact. Bearing 194. Designated Sierra 6.
Okay, I'm just making sure Sierra 1's not a reciprocal to Sierra 4, and it's not. I don't think I have a tracker on Sierra 1 anymore. I shouldn't. At least I don't need to. Let's go. Let's turn a little more to this way.
Rudder left, steer
See which course ends up, or which track here ends up being false. So Sierra 4, what do we got going on that way? 15. If it isn't D in LA, it's going 15 knots. Looks like it could be constant course and speed here. Plug that. It'd be right around here as a potential solution. I guess a quick move to periscope depth and checking the scope could be a possibility here. Not sure if I want to. Oh, what do we got? Are we getting a move on the reciprocal yet? We are. Sierra 6. Get out of here. Alright, Sierra 6. Drop. So we got Sierra 5 and Sierra 4. Here's a rough solution. This is if this guy is in LA. And assuming constant course and speed, there's your solution for that LA. Let's head back this way.
Rudder right, steer course 0.
Let's go up to 6 knots here.
Set revolutions for 6 knots. Propulsion
Let me zoom this out a little bit further and see what the rest of the solution is saying. It's still saying LA pretty hard in there. That's 60, 125, 325. If that's the case, then that is an American submarine 320. There's no other platform in this game that holds such a solution without being like maybe a torpedo. But nothing else holds that sonar profile. Well, an Oliver Hazard Perry could, but I'm not expecting that. So this is like 99% certain this is an LA moving at 15 knots trying to get in firing position here. Let me put a bubble for my squall range. Just a rough estimate of my. I'm going to shorten it up a little bit just to be a little conservative on that so I don't pull the trigger unnecessarily. What about Sierra 5? What's Sierra 5 doing? Sierra 5, if that's in LA, Sierra 5 is going 5 knots. Okay. Not enough data there to try and get a solution. Zoom in. But yeah, 15 knots is really holding up right around here. This is about what this solution is doing. This is 15 knots, about right here. About to be in firing range of my squalls, honestly. Classified contact, LA, confidence, medium, threat. Oh, well. Probably, 688i. So, yeah, do that one. The 688 model is better looking than the 688i. I don't know how that happened, but whatever. Okay. So there's our potential track. I guess I might as well get a tube assigned to him. External 6. Yeah, looks all fine to me. Whatever. There's not too much that needs to be adjusted to a squall. Just send it out on its way and it'll do fine. Okay. Lost Sierra 4 to the baffles. Very well. Or Sierra 5, excuse me. So Sierra 4's in LA. Still going hard at 15 knots, but his TP-16 still has acuity at that speed. Acuity that I do not have. And I'm seeing him on the broadband there, which is kind of crazy. I think that's him too.
Control acoustics. New contact. bearing 307, designated
So we can go ahead and
Sierra 7.
merge up Sierra 4 and Sierra 7 there. And that seems to be holding on that as well. So he's about to enter my kill zone. I'm about to fire on him. That's a pretty solid solution. Like, that's all. It's an American sub. That is an American sub right there. And this one here is looking pretty much like that too. There's the reciprocal. This one's going a lot slower. He might be more aware of my position than Sierra 1 is. This guy is heading more or less towards me at 5 knots. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay. We're about to get some more data because we just returned on this leg. That'll help us narrow this down, but I don't really have enough data right now. But I'm going to assume heading this way. I think that's a fair assumption to make, is heading this way to some degree. To which degree, who knows? That's just a guess. There's no basis for that solution right now, honestly, but heading this way, pretty certain. I want to say I can slow down, but I don't want to act like I'm trying to bait this fleet here. I want to engage these guys as soon as possible. I'd rather do it with squalls than traditional torps, but anyway, gonna have to stop here. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one. Good hunting.